Let's talk about some of the other quarterbacks around the country, namely these 4 teams that we all think very highly of that all were going to break in new starting quarterbacks. I'm talking about Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, and Penn State. Now, Georgia and Alabama, the level of competition, let's be honest, wasn't great. So did we get a lot of answers about their new quarterbacks? Probably not. But with Penn State and Ohio State, they were each playing Power 5 opponents. And in Ohio State's case, they were actually playing a league opponent on the road against Indiana. So first, let's see kind of how these guys did. You bring it up and like Milroe looked pretty good, right? But again, do we know what we're going to get with Milroe? We're going to know this week when he faces Texas. He was 13 of 18 for 242, 5 total touchdowns in a win. I was really impressed with his ability to run the football, and I think that's obvious. Drew Aller looked fantastic. 21 of 29, 325, 3 touchdowns in a win over West Virginia. Now, I actually thought West Virginia's defense was a little bit better than I anticipated, and he still looked great. If I'm a Penn State fan right now, I'm over the moon excited about how the first week went, because I think that Drew Aller showed me, as a Nittany Lion fan, that we're the real deal, that we can compete at the top end of the Big Ten East, which is that next step, obviously, for James Franklin and the Penn State Nittany Lions. And then there was Kyle McCord. Kyle McCord, less impressive, but albeit in a more difficult situation again on the road in league play against Indiana. McCord was 20 of 33 for 239, no touchdowns and an interception in that win over Indiana. Now, is this cause for concern? Okay, you see the stat line right here. The cause for concern, I don't think, is specifically with Kyle McCord. The cause for concern, if you're a Buckeye fan, is that the offense in general looked, as I've put it this week, sluggish. I think that's fair, based on the way that they looked. The offensive line in particular did not play dominant football, which you would expect over Indiana. Now, I will say the same about Indiana's defense that I just said about West Virginia's defense. They were more athletic, faster, and better than I anticipated. A lot of that has to do with, like, you got Ohio State week 1, you're going to have a great plan. You really think Tom Allen wasn't looking at this game the entire summer? So you're going to have a great plan. Should Ohio State be okay? Probably, but that doesn't mean that there isn't things to clean up. Short yardage run game with the offensive line was a problem. Run game in general was a problem. When you don't have a great run game, what does that mean for a new quarterback in the passing game? It means that they're probably going to have to throw the ball in less advantageous situations. You're not throwing the ball when you want to. You're throwing the ball because you have to. And that's not a good position to be in, even for Ohio State and the weapons that they have on the outside, namely Marvin Harrison. They're going to have to find a way to get the ball to Harrison and Emeka Egbuka much more. They did not have a great day. Part of that was the problems with the offensive line. McCord did not look great. At times, there were throws to be made that weren't made. Now, last thing I'll say with Ohio State, because I hear a lot of Buckeye fans and the sky is falling. We got a controversy and the quarterback is a problem. I think that the quarterback will eventually be fine. The bigger question is the offensive line and the run game. That's where I'm most concerned with Ohio State. Do I think they'll fix it? Yes, probably. Why? Because their track record suggests that they'll fix it. That man's track record suggests that he will fix the offensive side. Let me put it to you a different way. If Ohio State won that game against Indiana 45-21, 45-28, you probably would have been like, yeah, all right, look, our offense is going to be just fine. But guess what? That would have made me much more concerned about Ohio State because it would have suggested that the defense hadn't improved from a year ago. Remember, it was the defense that couldn't get stops late in games against Michigan and Georgia. That was the real issue. So now you've got a defense that played great. Maybe Buckeye fans look at the positives. See, because I look at Ryan Day and I think to myself, he will fix the offense. There's no doubt in my mind. They will be more aggressive, they will run it better, and I believe that they will throw it better as well. They do need to settle on a starter, that's for sure. And hopefully they can do that sooner rather than later in preparation for a couple of weeks when they're going to face Notre Dame. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here, College Football on Fox.